time for the hardest-hitting 2 hours on the Panhandle.
I love it. You're coming through. You got it, baby.
Now into the huddle with Paul Wilson on the Sports Blitz.
It is a joyous day. I love your show.
From the Emerald Coast to the edge of the atmosphere.
You gentlemen lift us up every day.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And you're tuned in right here to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your place for college basketball on the Panhandle. We're so glad to join you today wherever you are listening from. We appreciate it. And we've got a big time slate today ready to go. Don't forget, if you want to call in and be a part of the show, you can be 850-215-6290, the Red 7T's phone line. Your place for all things custom apparel, Red 7T's. Go see them on Facebook, on their website as well. We're pumped up and ready to go on this beautiful Thursday. It's been gorgeous outside, so about 74 degrees. And in the building, as always, on a Thursday, we got Stone Cold Brian Austin in the building. How you doing today?
I'm doing, man. I'm a little tired, but I'm doing,
man. I tell you what, you have got the crawfish going. You got the crawfish shirt on, and I'm telling you what, it is fantastic. How many pounds of crawfish have you boiled in the last couple of weeks?
We're on about like 2,500 pounds a week right now.
Oh my gosh!
So once price goes down, hoping to be about 4,000 or 5,000 pounds.
Yeah, so its prices are still up just due to the cold snap that we had. It kind of knocked it down some.
Yeah, it came back down a little bit this week. So give it a few more weeks. As long as we have weather like this, we'll be looking at good prices very soon. So.
Yeah, and as always, on a Thursday, we got Bone Crusher in the building. Bone Crusher, how you doing today?
Hey, speaking of Lone Star Boil House, tomorrow on the Coach James Hale Show and on the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, your chance to win $25 gift cards to Lone Star Boil House. Yum. Follow me for more recipes.
That's right. And if you think about it, when you do have people coming in there, it's not just the food, it's the experience. It's hanging out, having a good time. You know, you've got all kinds of drinks as well if that's your cup of tea, but you've also got not just crawfish, you've got all the other stuff to go along with it.
Yeah. Shrimp, crab, everything. So, yeah.
And so tonight, you're going in tonight full force with crawfish. Yeah. And what else you got going on? Anything else going on tonight?
Not really. Just crawfish specials for the night, really. This morning we did the law enforcement thing where we fed all the law enforcement for free.
How many showed up?
About 40.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't crazy, but yeah, about 40 of them got taken care of this morning.
Wow. So that's so awesome to do that. You took care of the law enforcement. You know, and a lot of times people don't realize being out in that car all day long, riding around in a car, you know, sometimes having to go in and see the worst of the worst and people at their worst. And so that was really awesome that you guys did that. So congratulations on that. I appreciate you doing that. And as always on a Thursday, we got Jeffrey in the building wearing his Key Largo. It's about time for the summertime, isn't it, Jeffrey?
Man, we've been bragging about, 73, 74, 75 degree weather here. Pollen killed me last night.
Really?
I'm wrecked.
Oh, man.
Low energy. I'm not doing any 40-yard dashes today.
No, we're
you
not
can
doing
go ahead and get ahead on a whole day of prep for that.
Yeah, just so everybody knows what's going on, we're going to actually do during the combine of the NFL, we are going to go over and we're going to get Jeffrey clocked in the 40.
No, you are going to run against me. It's a competition if we're going to do this.
So we're going to do it. So we might have to get Bone Crusher running.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he can get the bands out and polish them babies up. And Brian, you can get a little bit of this.
I'm out. Yeah. I'm flat-footed, man. I can't run.
Oh, really?
Wow. I'm not gonna lie.
What you say? I didn't get to go to the military because of my feet. Yeah. We know other people that way too. Yeah. So, but either way, you got anything going on this weekend at the Lone Star Boy House?
Valentine's on Saturday, so that's a big thing. Not everybody wants fancy steak and other thing. Some women want crawfish.
Yeah. And so
We'll be
do you have any
past that.
kind of specials going on that night?
Yeah, we'll have 5-pound crawfish trays. Then we have a tray that's going to have Dungeness crab, shrimp, king crab, everything kind of loaded up on it.
Oh, wow.
So,
I'm going to have to tell my wife she might take me there for Valentine's Day. That'd be awesome.
This is kind of ironic. You ready for it?
Yeah, give it to me.
So when I go over there, I get, like the queso with the brisket in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I usually get like a pulled pork sandwich or a brisket sandwich. Is that what it is, right? And he's the Texas guy.
Yeah.
And I'm the Louisiana guy. And he's always talking about the seafood. And I'm like, I'm there for the barbecue.
Yeah, because the barbecue is really good. Obviously, it's called the Lone Star Boil House, but the Lone Star part is the barbecue part.
Yes.
So Lone Star Barbecue / Boil House is what we're calling it, because Jeffrey loves the barbecue. Every time we talk about it, he's like, man, the brisket, man, the queso with the brisket inside. So, but you got big fans, and obviously everybody loves it around here. Let's talk a little bit about it. We talked yesterday that the Cowboys have got 2 first-round picks for this coming up draft. And are you excited about that, or are you not so much? Are you hoping for someone like a defensive side of the ball, or are you looking at the offensive?
Both picks better be defense. Both. There's no, that was the worst defense I've seen almost in NFL history. They were so bad. Oh, that was atrocious.
Yeah, it was
Russell
bad
Wilson threw for 450 yards on him, and then got benched the next week. It was every single week somebody was going to put up Pro Bowl type numbers playing that Dallas Cowboys.
This is a very upset fan here.
Yeah. So would you be okay to trade 2 to get a top 1?
Well,
or do you need you want both?
Is the first one the 10th pick?
12.
12,
and
okay.
20.
12's
you're gonna have one of those guys.
What are you getting for a 12 and a 20, Paul? What's the equivalent?
An 8.
I thought higher. I thought higher than that.
I'd say about an 8, 6 to
I was thinking
8.
like a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better be around
easy.
5, 6.
Well, if you were trading those 2, who would you be targeting? Would it be Bain? Would it be Caleb Downs? Like you need so much help. I get it, but you could probably go and get a free agent. We're going to talk about that as well. So
Cowboys don't get free agents.
So who's the Ohio State edge?
Arnell Reese.
Yes,
Arnell
Reese.
Yeah, he's
that's
going to be
him.
gone early.
You think he'd be the 2nd or 3rd, 4th pick?
They've got everything I've seen. They have him the second
pick. Yeah, but they've been wrong before.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing about So maybe you do need to sit back and then say, okay, well, let's see Reese go. And if Reese doesn't go, man, you pick up that phone, you say, hey, we got a couple of picks for you. And maybe throw in a 5th rounder along with it to try and get up to that 4th pick if he's still sitting around. Because, the most jaw-dropping thing that ever happened to the Saints was when Reggie Bush fell to the 3rd pick. I was like, this is insanity right here. I've seen that guy play, and I'm like, that's just insane.
Yeah, but Reggie Bush just didn't pan out. He was okay.
He wasn't no Ricky Williams, but, there's a Texas guy right here.
Yeah.
But, in high school and college, the clips on Reggie Bush was just nuts.
Yeah, it was. But, that's the difference. You go from playing, high school to college kids, and then now you step into grown men, and there's a little bit of a difference.
Yep.
So with me, I would be wanting Caleb Downs, because he's somebody that could help you.
I do.
He could be a big help for that team, but I don't know if I would give up 2 picks for him. I just don't. As good as he's been and as smart as he is and as injury free as he's been, that's what you want, because realistically, when you look at the Cowboys, they've had a lot of injuries, especially on the defensive side of the ball, and that's been their Achilles heel the whole time, no pun intended.
Yep.
But you want somebody that's been healthy, that stays healthy in that way. But obviously, there is no shutdown corners in this draft that I've seen. But you've got the guys from Ohio State, which is terrible for me to say. You got those guys. You got the guys from Miami. And
Texas Tech.
And you got the
Lyman.
Yeah, he's undersized. That's the only problem I'm going to have with him. Is that when he gets a grown man that can move and can grab him, I don't know. I don't know how good he's going to do with talking about Bailey, the defensive end for Texas Tech.
Yeah, because they got him going like maybe he's 5th or 6th at the highest.
Yeah, but I still, I'm still high on Bain. I'm not as high on Mesidor. I think Mesidor is going to be a good player, but I think Bain is going to be able to come in. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be Myles Garrett, but I think he can be a Micah Parsons type style player where he's going to rush that edge real good, because that's what you really need when you're looking for. We saw that with even Seattle. And, I mean, if you look at it, the Cleveland Browns, for example, they were in a lot of ball games just because of the defense. So, realistically, and we talked about this in depth yesterday, when you look at the NFL, the last two Super Bowls, the Super Bowl winners have had really, really good defenses and pretty good offensive. I mean, obviously last year with Saquon Barkley rushing for all those yards, and obviously A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts and all that. But really, when you look at that team, when you look back at it, that defense set the offense up. It almost set the table. And so I'm just wondering if teams are going to be paying attention. That's kind of where I'm going with that. And I wonder if the Cowboys are paying attention, because realistically, next year's draft is going to be absolutely stacked and loaded with offensive help. Yeah. So this year, dive in with that defense. I wouldn't take an offensive player if I was the Cowboys. And
Not
I would,
one.
Yeah.
Not one.
So
take a shot with every single draft pick you have.
Would you be happy with a Bain if he was to fall down to that first pick?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what I was, obviously, you're not. I just wondered what the Cowboys could do to maybe get both a Caleb Downs and a Bain in the first round by putting some kind of trade together with their picks and getting a pick here, pick there, whatever. But I think a lot of teams are going to kind of just draft what they're going to draft this year. We'll have some trades because of that next year's draft is going to be such a big draft. I just wonder how that's going to all play out.
Yep.
And obviously we don't move into different teams because of you, but what do you think about there's starting to be a little bit of negativity about Francisco Mendoza? Have y'all heard about that?
No.
So there's a lot of GMs are kind of pulling back against Francisco Mendoza a little bit, and they're saying that they're thinking it's more of Kirk Cignetti than it is Francisco Mendoza. So
there's only one of them that really needs to be talking about him. The Raiders. Other ones are trying to talk themselves out of dating that girl.
But if you think about it, the Jets, they would love for the Raiders to pass on him because they'd probably grab him.
Oh, yeah, Jets would.
And I mean, but, he's got a lot of things, coming up to throw and all that. But I just wondered what y'all thought about it. Brian, if you had the opportunity, if you didn't have a quarterback,
no, you're taking him 100%. You're taking him.
I just wonder if they're going to do it.
They have to put some other pieces around them, and they better have an offensive line too. But
yeah, that's what I would think that they would need to do too. So Max Crosby, he did come out today and say that stuff that he's been saying is just, so he's kind of walking it back. So it looks like Max Crosby's probably going to stay with the Raiders. But, it wouldn't surprise me if the Raiders were to trade him to like a Chiefs, somebody like that. That would be a big, because people need edge rushers, and that's why. And like even with our Red 7T's phone line, somebody wrote Mesidor is faster than Bain. Bain's just a flat out beast, though. And that's true, and I agree. But I just you can't not have those guys that can rush the quarterback, because obviously in the league that we play in, getting pressure on the quarterback is the number one goal of the defense.
Oh, yeah. They tore Drake May up.
Yeah,
he had no time.
None.
None.
So when you look at it, Jeff, going back to the Raiders, you're 100% Francisco Mendoza.
That's what everybody's been saying. Sure,
but are you that though? If you were the Raiders GM, would you be 100% on him, or would you somehow, some way trade down, get 2 picks, and try to build up the offense and defense so that next year's class You know, I mean, because you still got Geno Smith.
Oh, man.
But, I mean, he's not the guy, but still.
So, I mean, I don't want to pick on the team, but, I mean, he's here. I'm going to go ahead and do it. What could you get for the first pick in the first round? Could you get the Cowboys' 12th pick this year, a first rounder next year, which we don't know which spot they're going to be in? It could be 20 or they could be 10. We don't know. They'll be somewhere in the middle, I'm thinking. And then maybe like a third rounder? 2 firsts and a third.
I'd go 2 firsts and George Pickens.
Ooh. Oh, my.
You see what I mean?
Well, that's where you're going to start it off high and then bring it back because they're not. No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Somebody who's been proven in the league now.
Let me ask you this about George Pickens. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. How comfortable do you feel like that he should come back? And then number 2, how confident are you in Jerry Jones? Because obviously he's been saying stuff lately about it, and you know how Jerry Jones works. He goes through the back channels. He is not talking through an agent. He's talking to George Pickens right now as we speak. You know, he's going to try to get him there. Do you think he's coming back to the Cowboys?
They franchise tagged him already.
Yeah, so he'll be back for 1 year.
He can. Yeah, he's not going to be happy about it probably, but hopefully they work out a long-term deal with him.
Do you think he's the other wideout that you would want to? Do you think he's got the ability to help CD be able to?
Oh, 100%.
Definitely go. So
yeah, you couldn't stop those 2 guys.
Yeah,
that's the best 1-2 receiver.
Well, somebody stopped them because guess what? They didn't make the playoffs.
That would be the defense's fault.
Yeah.
I mean, giving up 40 points a game, it seems. So.
Yeah, but every time you get the ball half the time.
I know.
Unless you're turning over the ball.
Yeah. Well, that's Dak's problem.
Yeah.
So with that being said, do you think they'll eventually get a long-term
deal?
deal?
Something worked out. Yeah.
You do?
Maybe. It'll probably be the day before the season starts because that's what Jerry likes to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, he'll get out there and talk to them while they're all practicing. And so, I mean, how many more years does Jerry have before he is ever going to give up the
infinite? Infinite. He's already found a way to live to 200.
Yeah, is he like a vampire or something? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe
I don't support breaking the law, but he could get kidnapped, and that's the way he could just shut up.
Oh man.
Well, one of our listeners just totally disagrees with you. Best 1-2, give me a break. So there you go. Some people are giving you some love on that. I mean, realistically, I think they're probably, I'd say they're in the top 10 of two wide receivers in the National Football League.
Top 10? Oh, yeah. Top 10.
I mean, who would you say is first? Are we going to go? I mean, who's better? Who's better?
There's not.
Jamar Chase, T. Higgins.
No.
Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
No.
Cooper Kupp and Smith.
JSN.
Yeah.
Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's there.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know. I mean,
who's Mike Evans with at the Bucs?
Chris Godwin, but he's out. And Emiko
Mbuka.
Oh, yeah.
Emiko Mbuka.
That's a name.
He fell
That's
off,
a name.
though, at the end of the year.
Well, because Mike Evans was hurt and Chris Godwin was out, too.
Yeah.
So, and then Baker, and I don't know about Baker. He always falls off at the end. So, but.
Could Baker be a top 10 quarterback next year?
No.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
No, especially if he's going to lose Mike Evans. He's got Mike Evans as a free agent, so we'll see how that goes.
Other people make you look good.
What about our boy Sunshine, Jacoby Myers, and old boy from LSU,
Brian Thomas. Thomas didn't have a great year though.
He did. He struggled.
He
was like 7th.
He had flashes, but
he was like 7th in yards last year, and then this year he wasn't even top 20. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean that's it's a crazy little thing. So I don't know. I'm just wondering, will the Cowboys be able to keep him? Will he be able to build on that defense? So you're 100% like, no matter if they don't get out of the, get 2 for 1 or anything like that, defense. And any specific player.
Secondary and edge rusher.
Yeah.
I mean, that has to be your first 2 picks.
Yeah.
Has to be.
And your best, and the best players are Bain and Caleb Downs at those positions. So I don't know. You would hope that, Reese, he's probably going to go second And then, from there on, it's just going to be whoever.
Well, they have a couple of good offensive linemen. The guy from Utah.
He might. I mean, he might go, but I don't know. But we'll figure it out. But we're going to go ahead and take our first break. When we come back, Trinidad Chambliss is actively in the courtroom today. We're going to talk to Steve Barnes about it. We're going to see whether or not Trinidad is going to get that 6th year. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call or text him now on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290.
She's all you ever wanted.
So this Valentine's, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is giving you more of what your heart desires. College basketball.
At the buzzer!
First, it's Florida versus Kentucky. Tip-off at 1:30.
Followed by Auburn at Arkansas at 7 on your home for college basketball. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Thursday. Sunny the remainder of the day with a light breeze out of the west-northwest at 6 miles per hour and temps near 69. Tonight we will have clear skies and a wind speed of 3 miles per hour and be warm at 52. Sunny tomorrow and a high 69 with a light breeze. Some clouds Saturday with a temp of 68. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Good luck surviving the offseason, football fans.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Football's over, it's like a part of me just died inside. 200 days till football's back, but tonight I won't just cry, cause I've got a ways to play. And that's the place with Hard Rock Bet, I will survive.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Are you living with chronic pain, anxiety, or sleepless nights? You don't have to just get by. You deserve to thrive. At Thrive Alternative Medicine on Panama City Beach Parkway, Dr. Laughlin and counselor Suzanne Clark provide a compassionate path to relief. From medical marijuana card certifications to professional mental health counseling, managing conditions like PTSD, chronic pain, and the complexities of cancer. Book online at thrivealternativemedicine.com. Thrivealternativemedicine.com. Find the relief you deserve.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
The rack. Layup good and wide. Up for the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack. Dunks it with 2 hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Catch select Florida Gator basketball games on 104.3 ESPN.
Northwest Florida.
Some people say our opinions are toxic. We say they're just a little terminal. The Sports Blitz.
This malpractice committee has received a few complaints against you.
On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your place for college basketball. And don't forget, sweeties, this weekend, Florida versus Kentucky, and then Auburn versus Arkansas on Big Time Valentine's Day. That's just for you right here at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We're pumped up and ready to go. We have on the line Steve Barnes with the rebelwalk.com. Steve, he's not here? Okay, I'm sorry. I thought we had him on the line. Okay, my bad.
So that's like Ole Miss basketball.
Here?
They don't show up, yeah.
Don't show up.
Yeah.
But when you look at how the game went last night for Alabama, first game without Charles Bediako. And, the big thing that the head basketball coach was asking at Alabama was the best player that Ole Miss has already been playing basketball in France professionally. Mm-hmm. And that was his big push against that. How do you feel about that? Because we've talked about it a little bit, but we haven't talked about it the whole time. So I don't understand what is the biggest deal about it all. When are we allowing professional players to play college basketball? Or is it only if they play in this professional? Only G League players get banned from playing in college. I guess maybe if you're drafted, but they're getting picked up by these teams overseas as well, and they don't have the traditional college like we do in America. So that's my question.
Yeah. I mean, somewhere, I said it before, 2 years of overseas professional play, right?
Yeah.
And as long as you're under 22 and under. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, should that be 3 or 4? And then just consider that to be like their, I don't know, high school or something like that? I don't know what you want to consider the European or Asian, I won't call it market, but, that's kind of what it is. In order to feed into college. That's kind of strange, You definitely have to put an age limit on it. And then probably a year limit on it combined. That's what I think.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense because there's been other players to do exactly what Bediako has done. But when you look at how all of it's set up, I'm not really sure if moving forward, they have to make it black and white. They have to put a line. They can't just keep having this gray blurred lines where courts are the ones that's going to do exactly all of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, we can't consistently be not knowing what. I mean, we've already got the debacle going on that we're going to talk here in a moment about with Trinidad Chambliss. So we've got that. We've got the Diego Pavias of the world. We've got all of these things, and it's like, what is really the thing with basketball? Now, you got all this stuff with football, but what is it with basketball? Because now we don't really know, because you do have a kid from Louisville. You do have a kid from UCLA. You do have these other kids. Then you do have this kid from Ole Miss that played professionally, in France. Yeah. So, I mean, what do we do?
Man, gotta set a standard, some kind of number.
It has to
be.
And
maybe 2 numbers, like I said.
Because if we keep going to court, we're leaving it up to judges to do it. And
it's going to cost money.
Yeah, and it's going to cost money, but it's also going to, judges are partial in their state.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
what if the judge is an Alabama fan? What if the judge is a Mississippi fan? What if the judge is, went to that school? What if a booster got to the judge? I mean, there's so many things that can happen when you allow the courts to decide. That's the silly part of it all.
You don't trust the court system.
I don't trust the court system not to dictate basketball and college football.
What do you think, that lawyers became lawyers before they became judges?
Yeah, well, surely. But I mean,
absolutely.
I want the play to be clear of who's going to be playing. You know what I mean? Like, no advantages. Not anything like that. It's got to be done.
So, Paul, you're running it. What's the age limit?
For college basketball?
Coming into college, yeah. 22?
Yeah, I think that's a good age.
Okay.
You're saying 22 and then you get 4 years, so you'll be 26 by the time you graduate? No, that's not me. No.
Okay, so how about 21 and you're only allowed 3 years of eligibility?
Yeah, I'd do that better than I would. Yeah, I just don't. It just rubs me the wrong way just seeing 24-year-olds playing college against 18, 19, 20-year-olds, just like Diego Pavia, just like, when Trinidad Chambliss sat down in the chair today, they asked him his name, his age, and all of that, and he's like, I'm 23 years old. So probably by the time he's playing next year, he's going to be 24 years old playing college football against 18 and 19 and 20-year-old kids. And I don't like it. I don't love it.
Well, then, is it John David Booty or Josh Booty? I can't remember which one it was that played at LSU. Mm-hmm. He went and played, 2 or 3 years of Florida Marlins?
Yeah.
So does that eliminate him?
I mean, I think so. I do. I mean,
it's a different sport.
You got Bubba Thompson, who's doing that specifically right now. He was at the University of South Alabama, and now he's going, I think he transferred to West Florida to play there. And even the guy that was at Florida State that won the Heisman, I mean, that's what he did. He went and played baseball first.
Chris Winkie,
and then he won the Heisman.
And he was 29.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then his NFL career, I mean, you know, when you go in, you got to think he was 29 going into the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam Darnold's 28. And, I mean, he's considered kind of older getting to that point. Now, obviously, if you play like Rodgers or Brady or, you know, or Flacco where you're getting into your 40s, okay, sure. But obviously, that's not typical. That's not what you want.
Not.
So either way, we're going to go to the Red 17's phone line. We got Mike on line 1. Mike, how you doing today, man?
I'm fine, and I'm fine, Paul. And that's what burns me. You got these 20, 25, 26 years old, 27, 28, 29, 24, 23 years old. They don't need to play with the 18, 19 years old. Look at what the Indianapolis Colts did. They went out and got Phillip Rivers. And heck, Phillip Rivers was retired for 5 years, and he got back into football. Now, I don't think you should have got back into football, but you talk about these college football players. I don't think, well, you know my opinion, I don't think 23 years old, 24 years old should be playing college football or basketball. What say you?
Well, what about Michael Jordan? He retired and came back. You going to draw the line there?
Wait, don't you have to draw the line somewhere?
Yeah, I agree. I think with college there has to be an age limit. I just don't love it. I don't love these guys coming back and playing against college kids who's in school.
And burns my butt, Paul, on how these college kids or how these kids keep coming back and playing in the college basketball again. There's no need for them. Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah, I think they got to draw the line, because if they don't draw the line, it's just going to keep happening, and it's just going to keep. Because who's to say these kids aren't going to go overseas and just play for a couple of years and get really good, and then come back to college and make the NIL money their way to get their money.
And that's another thing that burns me, the NIL money. I don't think they should have get paid the NIL money. They should withdraw that. But, you know, it is what it is.
Well, that's done deal.
Yeah, it is done on that.
It is done deal.
Well, we just need to keep these professionals out of Alabama, because Alabama's the problem.
I agree. Hey,
He agrees.
Paul,
yeah.
I agree with you. Alabama is the problem.
Whoa, that's Jeffrey talking. Alabama is not the problem. Nate Oates just needs to pull it back a little bit and get these high school kids going and let those guys play.
Yeah, but I agree with Jeffrey a little bit. I think part way, I think Alabama's the problem. But thank you for letting me come on and state my opinion, and thank you for letting me talk sports with you. I always enjoy talking sports with you, Paul.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate your calling, Mike. Have a good day, my friend.
I thought about you at the airport.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I thought about you at the airport.
What did you do?
There was this ugly orange.
Oh, okay.
Let me finish.
Okay,
My God, y'all pile on me. Bone Crusher, like, put me in a headlock and doing wrestling moves on me. There was an ugly orange plane. And, of course, you know, you have usually a few letters, and then you have two letters at the end, right? And guess what the letters were? RT stands for Rocky Top.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, isn't that Roll Tide?
Yeah, that's what it was. No, that's terrible.
Yeah, it was that nice orange color you love so much.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, when when you look at how this college deal is going, I'm going to read something from the Red 70s phone line. He said another 25-year-old chasing a dream. Miami will still beat his eyeballs out next year. You need to move on, young man. You will not win a natty. Miami is freaking loaded. So that was for Trinidad Chambliss. And obviously, we're waiting on this is like on the edge of your seats type waiting. Right now, the verdict is coming, and we're waiting on Steve Barnes. He's connected with the courtroom right now to see what the verdict is going to be on Trinidad Chambliss.
Now, before it was in Calhoun County.
Right, they moved it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's good because nothing ever happens in Calhoun County.
Well, and that's the thing.
My dad was born in that county.
Was he?
And he lived there growing up.
But you wasn't born there. So
no,
that's
I was not.
thing.
But the first time I ever saw snow, Calhoun County.
Yeah.
Yep.
So where are you with Trinidad Chambliss? Because everybody,
just get the decision over with. If they already said what's going to happen, move along, people. The court said whatever they wanted to say, or, the NCAA is not going to budge. They have rules that you abide by, that you join this organization. There used to be a group called CFA. I don't know if you remember that back in the 80s and then to the 90s. And if you weren't a part of the NCAA, you were part of the CFA, and it was basically just bargaining chips for media deals, and everything, right?
Yeah.
And then that's gone. It got buried in the 90s, not around any longer. And so we're kind of bind to the NCAA, and they're the ruling organization. So why do we keep on trying to buck and make changes to it?
But you say that, but they're really not. Because now they're having to go to court, and they've got to put out their, obviously, when you work at a job, all right, let's just look at it this way. When you work at a job, there's rules that job has to follow when they're dealing with you as their employee. So they can't just, come up and mistreat you or be like, hey, go put your nose in the corner or you're losing your job, obviously. So there's rules and regulations that they can do. And yes, you can take your employer to court. But normally it's you sign an arbitrary before you get hired.
Arbitration agreement.
Right.
Yes.
So you go into that arbitration agreement, and that's usually what happens. And what is that? That's basically somebody that comes in there and kind of gives you both a little bit of a,
they're impartial.
Yeah, but they're hired by the organization. Yeah. So
exactly. Or they're just bringing HRs, and then deal like that.
But that's the kind of way that I see it being with the NCAA. The NCAA is the employer. College football, they own the teams. They kind of own it. And then
they don't own the teams.
But I'm saying they own the opportunity. I know that, but I'm saying in essence, they own this game that these teams are allowed to play in. The NCAA's governing body. They pick the playoffs. They pick who's number 1, number 2, number 3, and then they give them an award at the end of the season for winning their whatever game.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and go to the Red 70s phone line. We got Sean on the line. Sean, how you doing today, man?
All right. Yep. I'm kind of getting a little messed up by the pollen and stuff too. What's the guys? Who was that said that he got tore up by pine pollen? Like he thinks recently.
Last night.
Yeah, Jeffrey. Last night.
Last night, I decided to go for a little walk. I'm trying to do more steps and everything.
Yeah, because he's got to run the 40 soon.
No, I was not running 40s yet.
Yeah, you're running it during the combine.
Well, you are going to be running it with me.
I will.
Maybe we'll invite Sean over too.
We're not going to run it together.
Popping.
We're going to run it separately, and we're going to get clocked, and we're going to
be next to each other because I know how the Alabama stopwatch works. But no, last night I got wrecked by the pollen, and then I wasn't feeling good last night, the throat, and then this morning still woke up with the throat, and now I was feeling weak. And, I just worked through my day, It's not contagious,
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what, I just know that I started sneezing just on the way home, and it just kind of, I'm hoping that's, hopefully that's what it is. I hope it ain't, like the flu like a lot of people have. But anyways, I bet y'all were just recently talking about that Trinidad, is it Chambliss?
Yeah, Chambliss.
Chambliss, his having to go to court. Is he just, what was he trying to get, a 6th year or something?
Yes, he's trying to get his 6th year, and we're actually waiting on Steve Barnes to call in, who does the rebelwalk.com, and we're trying to figure out when or what the verdict is. So now it's going on.
Yeah, I've heard him, that Steve Barnes guy, talk several times, over the last several weeks. And whenever that has come up, it's like, give me a break. He talks about, it's an Ole Miss judge he's going to be seeing in Barber County, and he says he's an Ole Miss, alum, and, let's just set it up. Can we not set it up any better to where, how could they fail? He's talking about, he's like a top 10, donor to the Ole Miss program, football athletics. Yeah. What do you think? Which way he's going to lean? Yeah. It's a joke. My team is Florida State, and every time I've heard of a player who was appealed to try to get next year, it started with DJ Ugalele. He got denied. Castellanos, I understood, tried to get another year, denied. And then 2-3 years ago, I don't know if y'all remember, there was a big defensive lineman who had been at Miami. I don't understand. I don't remember the ins and outs of his trying to transfer to Florida State. He did. They allowed him to transfer, but they made him sit out a whole year. And then he played for us the last 2 years. It was Darryl Jackson, I think. Yep, that's and now he's going to be I think he's still going to be a fairly decent high draft pick. I'm not 100% sure, but he was one of our best defensive linemen the last 2 years, but he had to sit out a whole year.
Hey,
what I'm getting at is none of those guys have tried to lawyer up and try to, line up the court system with a, FSU, alum judge. It just, to me, it seems like, how could he not fail to win in the court that guy Steve Barnes has talked about that's set up with all these alums from Ole Miss? You're
exactly right, Sean. I hate to cut you off. We're going to have to go. We do have Steve Barnes on the line. He's calling in. He's about to give it to us right now. So
he's the man with the plans. You got to get him on.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, Sean. I appreciate it.
All right.
All right, Steve, are you there, my friend?
I am here.
All right.
Been here since 06:30, I guess. Waiting for this stuff.
All right, what you got for us?
And I never want to hear the word contemporaneous again. I know that. But Judge Whitwell's still reading his decision like it's the Magna Carta.
Oh, wow.
But, Trinidad Chambliss is getting the waiver. He's going to play at Ole Miss.
Oh, wow. So it is going to happen. Wow.
Well, I think the NCAA messed up 3 times today. First, they didn't call any witnesses. They didn't swear anybody in. So they had nothing for them except to try to disparage everybody from Ole Miss, which is not a good thing. Let's face it.
Hey, Steve, we're going to have to take our break. Okay. We're both up against a break. We're going to call you back and get you hooked up. We got to talk about this, but we'll call you back here in just a moment. When we come back, we'll talk more about this and some other stuff. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Call in now.
This is Touchstone Service.
The Red 70s studio line is open.
Demonstrate how to make a call with your dial telephone.
850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd.
I preached last week, Stafford should be the MVP over Drake May. And I said the reason is every time Matt Stafford walks to the line, he understands the why. Drake May is still trying to figure out, as I said last week, the what. What am I seeing? What is this? He didn't have the answers against Seattle.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Weekdays at 1.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
When it comes to building smart and roofing right, TK Vandy's is the name you can trust. They're your go-to for general contracting, design, build solutions, and top quality roofing. From concept to completion, they deliver excellence on time and on budget. Whether it's a custom build or a complex renovation, they've got you covered. Literally. Call TK Vandy today and build something better together. TK Vandy, built with purpose, roofed with pride.
Are
You living with chronic pain, anxiety, or sleepless nights? You don't have to just get by. You deserve to thrive. At Thrive Alternative Medicine on Panama City Beach Parkway, Dr. Laughlin and counselor Suzanne Clark provide a compassionate path to relief. From medical marijuana card certifications to professional mental health counseling, managing conditions like PTSD, chronic pain, and the complexities of cancer. Book online at thrivealternativemedicine.com. Thrivealternativemedicine.com. Find the relief you deserve.
Hi, this is Wendell Carter Jr. of the Orlando Magic. For big reactions on the Gulf Coast, it's the Sports Blitz with my boy, Paul Wilson, on 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Thank you very much.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida, your place for college basketball. Don't forget this weekend we got some big games, the Gators and the Kentucky Wildcats. Don't want to miss that one. Don't forget, if you want to be a part of the show, 850-215-6290, the Red 17's phone line. We're pumped up and ready to go. We have on the line Chet with the TamaBlog.com right here. He is the man when it comes to the Atlanta Braves baseball. So all Braves fans, listen up. Chet, how you doing today, my friend?
Doing great. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So, with the Braves this year, we're very excited. We've got a lot of things coming, and we're excited about the core. Now, last year, I will tell you, I was a little disappointed. I was a little disappointed in GM and in some of the decisions. I was hoping that we were going to make a couple of trades, and obviously the biggest trade that I was wanting was Kyle Schwarber. We missed out on him. So either way, with that being said, what do you think about this year's lineup? What do you think about some of the people that they brought in? Give us kind of the preview of what you think about as far as with the Atlanta Braves coming into this year.
Yeah, so it's, 2-3 years ago was like one of the best lineups of all time.
Yeah.
And 2 years later, made up of mostly the same parts, not in the top 15. Couple problems. The first is just the back of the baseball card didn't match for like Ozzie Albies, Michael Harris, for a lot of the season. Sean Murphy, you haven't gotten like injuries here and there. And then the other thing is just keeping the guys on the field. Is your main problem. Ronald Acuna played 95 games last year, and when he did, he was best player in baseball, or one of them. So he was unbelievable. And so, you think about, what do long-term outlook, or not even long-term outlook, this year's outlook, you want to get back to being a top 10 offense. You need the guys to match what you pay them for.
Yeah.
I don't want all of your stats to come in August. Or all of your, do it over the course of 162. And then actually have everybody out there. I think, even if you're just a regular baseball layman looking at the lineup, you go, that's a good lineup.
Mm-hmm.
They just got to actually be that.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it. Like, for me last year, I was a big proponent of throwing, Albies, Sean Murphy, Ozuna, and even Harris. I know he started, he was one of the hottest hitters in baseball for that period of time, and all of that after the break. He was on fire, and I get it. But I was wanting to put all of those guys on the trading block to get, a big stick like Schwarber, like someone like maybe even Kyle Tucker, somebody big to come in, and they didn't do it. They kept Albies. Now, Ozuna, he left and went and signed with the Pirates. How hard of a spot do you think that's going to fill, or do you think that that's where Murphy's going to come in, or what do you think they're going to do with that DH spot?
Yeah, I think that at the end of the day, I think rather than filling in Ozuna, that's actually pretty affordable on the market. They're trying to have a different kind of lineup. So, if you think back, this was the 2010-2011 Texas Rangers that were really good, that made the World Series twice. They never had a true DH the same day. You might remember Nelson Cruz actually played the outfield a lot of the time, and it was it was Josh Hamilton, it was Nelson Cruz, it was Jared Saltalamacchia, they had Mike Napoli. They were rotating based on matchups every day. And I think that that's basically the Braves have had a couple of years now with Ozuna just slotted in there every day.
Yeah.
And for a long time, that was great. Last year, that stopped working. And they're basically looking at their lineup saying, well, how do we get at bats for Drake Baldwin and Sean Murphy? How do we get Ronald Acuna off his feet? How do, they want to mix and match. Mm-hmm. I think what you'll see is a month here, a month there, where you go, well, you don't want to take your Strzemski bat out of the lineup, or maybe you get Hassan Kim back, but Mauricio Dubon is still hot. I think that will be the idea. The nice thing is you might get to June and you go, you know what? We need a Big Harry in the middle of this lineup. The nice thing is I think that those guys are still available. If you want to go out and trade for one midseason.
I gotcha. Now, we're talking with Tom Oblog, Chet here, and let me ask you this. As far as Walt Weiss coming in, taking over the managerial duties here, do you see any kind of difference? Obviously, he was on the coaching staff last year, former player, former Brave, played a lot of baseball, knows what he's doing. Do you see any kind of difference in him from what him and Snicker, from the difference between those two guys?
Yeah, so at his interview, they were asking oh, this is more the same, right? And he said, well, think about, are you the same as your coworkers? Obviously, Snicker is one person, Weiss is another person. In terms of pragmatically, though, I think I just described the little difference that you might see, but I don't view that as a manager decision. That's the whole organization deciding how we want to open up the DH role. Managers matter, but they matter in ways that we don't see. Mm-hmm. In other words, is Walt Weiss going to be throwing the Gatorade cooler, getting tossed? No, he's not going to be a true, pragmatic difference. Where I think managers make a big difference is in two ways. The first is that they're the primary narrator of the season for the players. Meaning they have pregame meetings every day. They're the ones talking to them when they get into the clubhouse and everything like that. They're the ones telling guys who are brought up and sent down and everything like that. They're the guys whose voice everybody is going to hear. Mm-hmm. That's where sometimes you see a manager get fired and a new guy comes in and you get a little second life. It's the clubhouse feels different. It's people are feeling different when they come in. I think that will be different in a way that we can't see. But the main way that I think will make a difference is not Weiss, it's that the whole coaching staff is different. Mm-hmm. If you remember 2016, we let go of Freddie Gonzalez and Snicker came in, and it gave us a little second life. But that next year, you're Brian Snicker's from the organization. He'll keep the whole coaching staff. But he didn't. That next year, you had Ron Washington, you had Eric Young, you had a whole different crew. That's what the Braves have kind of been missing a little bit is those position coaches and, the third base, first base coach or the infield and outfield coach as well, on top of just the hitting coaches, the pitching coaches. They're the ones in the trenches with the guys. And that's the level of excellence that I think has been a little bit missing ever since Ron Washington has been gone. Yeah. It's the rest of the coaching staff. And the other guys who we've had have been fine, but you can tell when you talk to the players, they would gush when they would talk about Ron Washington and Eric Young. And when they talk about their, the guys over the last few years, they're like, yeah, I like them. That's what I'm really hoping you see the Weiss coaching staff has a level of excellence that is clearly higher than what we've had.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I for sure could tell the difference as far as it seemed stale, and I was glad to see them move on and go that way. Now the big question is, and we only have about 4 to 5 minutes left, but the big question is, how are the arms looking? Obviously, we lost Schwallenbach to an injury. He's going to be on the 60-day IL. What about Sale? I know he threw some today. What about, some of these other guys that, were healthy at the beginning of the year, but we lost them during the year?
Yeah. I mean, if there's anything that I do think that you can kind of look at Alex Anthopoulos and say, you gotta, this is you. You gotta be the one to fill this right now.
Yeah.
The problem, and I think that they're having a hard time pitching it with the fans and the media too, is The plan right now is for all the guys who had elbow and shoulder problems last year to give us production like they did before they had elbow and shoulder problems. And I think all of us are looking at it going like, come on, like they've got the nice thing about Schwellenbach going down when he did, even though it's not a nice thing, but it's like at least it happened in early February instead of in May, when there's still plenty that you can do. I think I'm suspicious right now that the Braves' hands are tied with the TV stuff going on. That, like, we don't know, like, that's a huge deal about, like, what our bottom line is going to look like and everything like that, or just, like, being able to project our future financials. And I think, unfortunately, we might be sitting on the sideline right now where a lot of guys are signing. But, yeah, I mean, you're throwing darts with the way this current rotation is set up, where, like, Grant Holmes says that he's good. Lopez, I don't know what you can expect from Ronaldo Lopez. And I think that one of the things that's keeping us from making a big splash, or I think that if you wanted to go sign a whole bunch of $5-6 million starters, you could, but Bryce Elder, Grant Holmes, and Joey Wentz are out of minor league options. So if you filled it up, the lower levels of your rotation, well, then you're not going to be able to keep the guys who you have for cheap.
Right.
And so I think that's making them be really specific about what exactly they want to do. But they can't do nothing. If you do nothing, you're going to have the exact same results as last year.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And obviously we can't predict and we can't prophesy what's going to happen with the arms, but I do agree with you that it's going to be hard to, for them to come back from an injury like that and then expect them to be exactly what they were before. And even Spencer Strider, we saw him come back last year off of that injury and his stuff just was not the same. It wasn't even close. And, I just wondered how that was going to affect them. As far as the outlook, are you thinking that, this year's Braves with the new coaching staff, got some new life in there, do you think, they're finally going to, make a big push?
Oh, I think so. Like, last year was the weird one.
Yeah.
Last year there was something crazy uncompetitive about the team in the middle of the season that has not been the case. And, there was like that period where they lost, what did they lose, 14-17?
Yeah.
And like 9 of them were by 1 run. And it was like, if you just flip a few of those games and then you have the push that you had, even with absolutely no rotation, it was like, oh, that bumps you into the wild card range where we could have genuinely been pushing for a wild card at the end of the year. You got to have some arm health when you get to the playoffs. That's all it comes down to. 2021, the team wasn't more special than the 20 or 22 or 23 team. The bullpen clicked, the rotation did what they needed to do, and we were hot at the right time. But, like, if you can play decent competitive baseball in the middle of the year, we typically get a wind that will get us to the playoffs. And I expect something like that this year.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. We're going to be bumped up against the break, Chet. We appreciate you coming on, and we are going to stay connected with you throughout the year. And thank you so much for being with us today.
Appreciate it. It was fun.
All right, man. Thank you so much, Chet. We appreciate it. We will be back with you another time. But either way, when we get back, we're going to talk to John Hudson, the head baseball coach at Bay High, right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Reach out and smack someone. Call or text now. 850-215-6290. The Red 7T Studio Line. ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
The SEC and Big Ten make so much more money than everybody else.
They do. It's unbelievable.
Over $1 billion. And I think the Big Ten was more. They hadn't came out with theirs yet. This just
I don't know. We're going to have a real big bake sale. Okay? We need $437 million. Can you help us out? Buy a cookie?
Weekday morning, 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Thursday. For tonight, clear skies at a low of 53 with very little wind. Tomorrow morning, sunshine with temps around 66. In the afternoon and evening, sunny with a light breeze and a temperature near 69. Moving into Saturday, about the same with a high of 68 and partly cloudy. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe, powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Gator Boys are back.
Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship.
And ready to defend their national title.
The rack. Layup good and one. Top of the rim. Alley-oop dunk. Smashed down by Condon. Oh, yes, sir. Gets the foul line extended. Rises for three. Bang, he got it to the rack. Dunks it with two hands.
On your home for Florida basketball.
Catch select Florida Gator basketball games on 104.3 ESPN.
Northwest Florida.
His major in college, the sweet brown liquor.
Wait, you changed your name to McLovin? McLovin?
LSU Jeff is part of the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
It is. It's 5 o'clock. And you're right here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You're tuned into the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson, and we are excited about today's show. We're pumped up and ready to go. Don't forget, college basketball Saturday, Valentine's Day. Florida Gators versus the Kentucky Wildcats should be a good one. I'm joined with Jeffrey today. Bone Crusher's here. Don't forget, you can be a part of the show, 850-215-6290. And also, don't forget, the microphone today is sponsored by Humbert Diesel and Auto Repair right there at 1504 County Road 390, Lynn Haven. Give Ty and them a call at 850-630-0766. Anything diesel related, you can check them out on their Facebook page, Humbert Diesel and Auto Repair right there. You can do that, and those guys will get you taken care of. But we are excited and pumped up about Coach John Hudson is on the line from Bay High. Coach, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing good. Doing great. We're getting ready for some baseball. Season started up, and we're all excited to get kicking, rocking and rolling.
Well, we're so excited to have you. This is the first time you being on the Sports Blitz with us today. And, Jeffrey, he didn't play a lot of baseball growing up, so we let him sit these segments out. But I'm sure he'll have a question for you. Coach, me and you've been talking through text. You have a little bit of a connection with the state of Kentucky.
Absolutely. I'm born in Louisville, played at University of Kentucky, baseball in college, and spent a little time up there after I got out of college and coaching up there in Lexington area. And, so I saw you, I saw on your text, I saw 859 area code. Oh, wait a minute, I know that area code. So,
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. And we had a great time up there. But, Coach, we had to get down to this weather that we're talking about right now. I do not like the snow, and I'm had to get away from that place up there because the snow was just too much. My son still goes there, and it was terrible. He would tell me how cold it was this year, and I'm so glad I'll deal with the 30s and 40s here than dealing with the teens up there.
I tell you, I moved up there one year, 2015. I moved to Kentucky to be around my parents. They were getting up there a little bit in age, and so I moved up to Kentucky. And the year I was there, it was below 10 degrees for 2 weeks straight, and we had 17 inches of snow. It was one of those once in a decade snows, and I'd been down here since '99, so I was 16 years Floridian. So that one winter up there, that was pretty brutal. I was like, I think I might need to get back down here.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's exactly what we did. Coach, we talking about Bay High baseball, but before we do that, I did notice right before we came on, we want to give a congratulations and a shout out to Alana Rose as she won the 101-pound state championship today in Olympic weightlifting in her division today in Lakeland, Florida. So we wanted to give a shout out to her. She represented Bay High today in the weightlifting. Do you know her or know of her?
Yes, absolutely. Know of her. She's not in the gym with where I'm at. I'm in PE. I don't see much of her, but she's in the smart classes. But she's a great young lady. I'm telling you what. To win a state championship, you got to be super talented. But there's also something else that goes along with it. She has all those attributes as well. She works hard. They do a great job with that program as well. So it's great to hear that. We thought that she might do well, but that's me. I just found out. I just walked off the field at practice, and I got the email from the school that she'd won the state. So that's super exciting.
Yeah, so we are excited about that, and the thing is I might get her to come over here and bench press Jeffrey because she probably could pick him up. But let's talk about your team, Coach. Obviously, looked it up a little bit. You guys won a district championship last year, going 15-12. How do you look to build upon that success and, maybe give us a little bit of a preview, give us some of the names of the kids that's going to be pushing this team along this year?
Yeah, I've been here. This is my fourth year here at Bay High, and I think, year one we came in and it was a little bit thin on players just in general, any players that were here. It was slim pickings there, and, the first year we struggled through there and kind of learned the game a little bit. And then year two we improved. We had some players come in a little bit to help us out. And we got a little bit competitive around town a little bit where we could hang in there and not get 10 runs every day. Yeah. And so then last year, year three, we had some experience back, a little bit of experience back and just had some talented players came in and won the district championship. That was huge for us here to win a district title and then just have that mindset of playing like a champion plays. So, now year four we got a bunch of these guys back and I think confidence is a huge thing, and that really comes from performance and experience. And when we've got that, the kids that we have on the field now are experienced, and we've got a little bit of depth as well. We've got two positions, at each position. We've got a couple guys we feel comfortable with. And our pitching staff looks like it's going to be deep enough that's really going to give us an opportunity to win. When you first get started, you might have one guy on the mound, and you kind of feel like that's your one chance to win that week. And, we've got 6 guys now that I feel really comfortable with on the mound that can go out there and compete and will give us a chance to win. So really looking forward to it, and the kids are excited about it. Talking about the pitching, Grayson Gibson is probably he's one of our top guys on the mound. Grayson's, he's a good, strong right-hander, throws strikes and competes very well. And we look for him to get on the mound and we're going to look to have a win on the hill when he's on the mound. He's going to give us a good start every time out. Elliot Richter's another guy. Elliot's a sophomore and he got a lot of experience last year. And, got a live arm, and he's our shortstop, and he's going to hit the top of the lineup for us this year. So we're going to lean on him quite a bit on the mound as well as at the plate. So, Cooper Pendergrass, Colby Hawkins, Camden Havel, Liam Adams, all these guys are guys that we feel like are going to give us a chance to win on the mound with each one of those guys. So that's how you can start stacking some wins up, is when you got a guy on the mound you feel comfortable with that can control a game a little bit and do some of the things besides pitch, the control the running game and all the things that you need to do on the mound. So it's kind of our strength right now at this point of the year is going to be the pitching. Our defense has gotten a ton better over the years. And like I said, this year we're having everybody back in the infield is going to really help us out there too. So super excited to get ready to roll. We're all healthy and feel like we're ready to go.
So y'all beating Walton, and y'all playing there, and now you have to play them at home, and this month, and that was a good start. But your district, North Bay Haven, Gadsden, and Rutherford, which one do you think is going to be the team that's going to be rivaling you?
Well, I'll tell you, Rutherford and North Bay Haven both are tough. We beat Rutherford last year in the district championship game after they had a very tough game with North Bay Haven in the semifinals. And so, we beat them, and it was a 1-0 game.
Wow.
In the district championship game, and so that was, that was big for us there. This year coming back, North Bay Haven, we hosted the preseason classic this year, so we had all the in-town teams who were here, other than Arnold. Arnold played somewhere else, but we had all the other 4 teams in town that were here, and so we got to see them all. And North Bay Haven, they really impressed me the way they played. They play hard, and they're coached well, and they just do all the little things. And they're a younger team, but they throw strikes on the mound, and they're aggressive on the bases, and they were really impressive this spring. We beat them in the preseason thing. It was a 12-11 game. We gave up 6 runs in the first. They came out and just smacked us in the mouth. And
wow!
So it's going to be a good district. It's going to be a fun district to play in, and we're hoping we can go back-to-back with that district title, but we got a long way to go and a lot of improving to do. Even though we're excited and feel like we have a team that can do it, we got to keep working. So
who do you have pitching tomorrow against Liberty?
I don't know. I'm gonna find that out probably after we get off the phone here. I just got out of practice. I don't know. We play Friday. We have Friday with Liberty, then we turn around Monday and play North Bay Haven, and then Tuesday we have Mosley. And then Thursday, we're back with Walton again. So we have a bunch of games coming up, and really haven't set the pitching yet. I'm going to do it, like I say, right after we get off of here. I'm not sure who I'm throwing on tomorrow, but I'm sure all of our pitchers are going to get plenty of innings in these next several days where we have 3 games in 5 days. And so I don't know. I'm not sure who we're throwing yet.
When the pitchers find out that they are going to start, do you see like a mixture of excitement or nervousness?
Well, if you would have asked me that 2 years ago, I would have said it would have been more like horror in their eyes. Now they're all wanting the baseball. They're all wanting to pitch, and so, like I said, I feel a whole lot more comfortable with it because I think all the kids that we have in our staff feel like they can go out there and get the job done. So, whoever it is, they've all got some experience, and I think they all feel confident they can do the job for us.
We're talking with Bay High baseball coach, Coach Hudson. Let me ask you this, Coach, as far as, because you're talking about throwing and you're talking about your pitchers. How do you try to manage their workload during the year? Is it, are you more apt to pull them early on when they start getting into the higher volume pitches in a game? Than you would, say, when you're getting more into, the middle of your season or the end of the season where you're starting to get ready, tuned up for playoffs. How does that work for high school baseball now? Because obviously, the big white elephant in the room is always the UCL now, the Tommy John, and kids are now having it earlier than they've ever had it before. So what is your approach when it comes to the managing of their workload for those young arms? Because even, you're talking about a sophomore, you're talking about a junior, you're talking about seniors and all of that. So tell us a little bit about that and your approach with that, Coach.
Yeah, we do. Really, early on, I lean more toward a lower pitch count with these guys. Everybody's got a little different number. Some guys' arms are a little bit better shape than other guys, and so you kind of go into it. I don't have too many of them are going to go more than 60 pitches. These first couple of weeks, I just don't do that way. I really found throughout my years of experience of coaching that you can try to get wins and all that. You got big games, or you're in a game, you're like, let's just let this guy go another inning. Let's just let him go another inning. And then you get to the end of the year, and you've got tired arms.
Yeah,
it's just the way it works, and that's now I think with the way they have. With all the formula and the whole 9 yards of seeding and how they're doing the rankings, every game is a huge game to win. They're all big. It's tough to just get experience for some of these other guys when you're sitting there thinking, well, we have to win these games. If you lose a game that you're supposed to win, it'll kill you in the rankings. So, what you really have to do, and what I've decided is I'm going to continue to coach the way I did before, as far as we're going to be the best team we can be for the district tournament. Mm-hmm. If you win your district tournament, you're in the playoffs. But if you have guys that have already thrown 1,000 pitches, going into the postseason, you're going to have a bunch of tired arms. So I'm really trying to keep their pitch counts lower throughout the year, and then we'll ramp it up a little bit toward, once we get into March and late March, we'll start maybe going 5-6 innings. But a complete game over here is not very common, just because I really think about what's going to happen in a month and a half down the road when we really need these guys at their best. So, we really protect them. And then you got guys like, Elliott's our starting shortstop as well as a pitcher. So, you're out here practicing every day, and you're throwing balls across the infield, and then he's got to pitch the next day. So there you have to manage that as well, where, you don't have as much throwing going on with some of these guys that are playing, two positions and all that. So there's a lot that goes into it, but I think for me, I just realized, like I say a while back, that, you want to have fresh arms at the end of the year, and especially with the staff we have this year, we're able to spread it around a little bit early on and maybe give them more appearances and less, workload as far as pitches go earlier on, and then extend them maybe a little bit more toward the end.
Yeah, well, a lot of our listeners, we have a lot of dads that listen that their kids play travel baseball right now, whether they're 9, 10, 11, 12. I also have a kid that plays. Let's step over into that a little bit. As far as what you think as being a head baseball coach in high school, what should these guys really try to do with their kids, as far as, because when they get to the 9-year-old, they start pitching, and then 10, and they're still in the short mound, and then they eventually move up to the big mound and all of that. But, as far as like learning different pitches and all of that, what would be your advice to some of these dads out there that listen, that, that their kid wants to pitch, and how kids are, they want to pitch, and especially if they get against a team that they, really want to beat, and they want to, give me the ball, coach, and I'm good, I can go, the full game and all of that. What would you say to some of those dads as far as like just being precautionary, just making sure, the things that you would do if you were in their shoes?
Yeah, I think, there's a lot of good coaches out there. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good coaches coaching travel ball. They're really, especially our area here. I mean, there's a ton of good coaches around here. I think a lot of these coaches, they realize what they're, what they're dealing with here with a young arm like that. And, if you get into a situation where a parent doesn't feel comfortable, with the workload of their pitcher, of their kid pitching, they need to step up and speak it. Just let the coach know, hey, we're not going to allow that. Here's what we feel comfortable with here, and hopefully the coaches will have a good relationship, rapport with the parents. I mean, they're 10, 11 years old, and breaking balls and all that stuff. I'm not against those things. I mean, if you're 9, 8, 9, 10 years old, I mean, learn the changeup. Learn the changeup. That's the hardest pitch for any of these guys to hit in high school ball.
Yes.
You can go over and work on the curve. I can throw that pitching machine up there on curveballs all day long. We can see those. Changeups are the hardest pitch to hit, hardest pitch to teach. Yep. And if these kids learn a changeup at that age, they will live with that changeup their whole life. I mean, you go to Gulf Coast, and the Jordan Martinez he's throwing 92 miles an hour. He's a great pitcher. Mm-hmm. He is strong. He's got a really good breaking ball. His changeup is one of his best pitches. Yep. And once you develop the changeup, it won't leave you. And that's for me, I think every kid needs to learn that pitch first. Now you can throw a breaking ball, you can throw a curveball. It just needs to be taught correctly. And there's a lot of kids that go up and they want to spin the ball, and it's just not the same as. If they're taught correctly, they can throw a curveball. Right. It's just, it's when you start getting tired, or when you start falling in love with a breaking ball, and then the elbow drops and they start trying to spin it with their wrist, and that's when you start having problems. If it's taught correctly, breaking pitch is not a bad pitch for an arm, but it's mainly like I say, the workload, and if you're pitching Thursday, you're not pitching Saturday. I really don't know how they do with the pitch counts and all that anymore with all this travel. There's so many different travel leagues and tournaments and all that, where there's different rules, I guess.
Yeah.
But you know, it really falls on the coach, and the parent needs to be proactive and stepping up and saying, look, you know, his arm's been bothering him. He's a little bit sore, and you know, we may need to, you know, do something else here.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and we appreciate you saying that. You know, you had someone sign from your team this year. Could you tell them a little bit about him?
Yeah, we actually had 2 guys signed so far. Camden Havel is one of our guys. He plays everywhere for us. He's mainly going to play right field and pitch for us this year, and some shortstop when Elliott's pitching. So he signed with Olivet Nazarene up in Illinois, in Chicago area up there. He went up there and visited up there and threw for them, and they offered him right there. And
wow.
So he's ready to go. And then Alex Baker is a first baseman, third baseman. He was a pitcher as well. He had Tommy John on his arm before he got to us, and he's still working back from that and really working hard to get back. Now he can play third base and throw it across there, and he's going to get back up on the mound. But he signed with Lesley University up in Boston area, so he's heading up that way to continue on. And you know, that's really what we're here for. You know, I want these guys to have a great experience in high school, have some fun, learn the game, and learn how to compete and win and play for each other. But you know, you really, to see a guy go on and have the opportunity to play after high school it's a great feeling for a coach. And so those 2 guys are ready to go. And we've got 3 more seniors. We have 5 total. Grayson Gibson, as I mentioned, on the mound, he's already had offers, and he's actually had D1 offers, and he's hasn't committed yet, but he's obviously going to go somewhere. And then Colby Hawkins and Calvin Howard are 2 other guys, and they're talking to several people. And I have full confidence that they're also going to be able to play in college baseball. So really excited about those guys being able to go ahead and play after they leave here.
Well, that's fantastic, Coach. We appreciate you taking your time out of your day and your busy schedule, and we'll get those guys in once the season's over, and have all of y'all here in studio with us and talk about why you chose to push those boys to the Northeast so they can play in the snow during baseball season.
Absolutely. We look forward to seeing you guys. Hopefully we'll be able to talk about a lot of success we've had this year.
Well, we sure do too. We hope that everything goes well. We'll definitely come out. We're going to come out and do some live videos and some interviews and things like that during the year. So, Coach, we appreciate you taking your time out. Coach John Hudson with the Bay High Tornadoes. Thank you so much, Coach.
All right, thanks for having me on. Y'all doing a great job. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. And when we come back, we are going to have Alan Watson calling in. We got some stuff to talk about. There's a specific kid signed with the Seminoles. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson at 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Taking your hot takes, rants, and takedowns. Let's hear it on the Red 7T studio line. 850-215-6290. ESPN Northwest Florida is taking it to the hole. Your home for the most live college basketball in the Gulf Coast. The ACC, SEC, and the biggest games in the country. Plus the official station of March Madness.
The Panhandle's destination for live play-by-play.
Hear every slam dunk in ultra-high fidelity right here.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast on ESPN Northwest Florida this Thursday. For tonight, clear skies and a low of 53 with very little wind. Tomorrow morning, sunshine with temps around 66. In the afternoon and evening, sunny with a light breeze and a temperature near 69. Moving into Saturday, about the same with a high of 68 and partly cloudy. This forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Reliable Copy Products is proud to be the exclusive dealer in Northwest Florida for Kyocera office equipment. Reliable Copy Products has been committed to providing professional, personalized service for the last 35 years. They understand that the right equipment does not always fall within today's budget requirements, so they offer several options for the equipment you need today for the growth you expect tomorrow. Call James Smothers at 784-6601. 784-6601. Reliable Copy Products on Harrison Avenue, just north of Bay High School.
Find something you love with great deals this month at Panama City Toyota. Get 1.99% APR on a new Camry, rated best midsize car by Kelley Blue Book. Plus, 90 days until you make your first payment. Get 2.49% APR on the Rocket Tacoma. Plus, 90 days until your first payment. And get 2.49% APR on the powerful Tundra. Plus, 90 days until your first payment. Come check out our showroom or browse online at Panama City Toyota.
Offer expires March 2nd. For details, visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
The Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, where the listeners call the plays.
What do you like about this guy? He's all flash. He's no substance. And if there's a better opportunity, he's going to jump for it.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your place for college basketball. Don't forget, she's all you ever wanted. So this Valentine's Day for 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, we're giving you more of what your heart desires. You know what that is, don't you, baby? College basketball. Florida versus Kentucky at 1 o'clock, and then Auburn and Arkansas at 7. So listen live right here. Or you can listen on the ESPN Northwest Florida app and fall all over again in love with college basketball. How'd you like that, Jeffrey? You pumped up about that?
Yeah. Wow. Do you know Kentucky has produced more NBA players than any other college?
Yes, I do. Yeah. And that's...
you know what number 2 is? You wouldn't guess.
UCLA.
What?
Come on with it,
my
baby.
goodness, he got it.
Daddy
got the
is
trivia
in the
question of the
building.
day.
That's right.
Look who you're talking to, Jeff.
That's right. What do you think?
Yeah, he didn't go to Alabama.
Well, either way, we are pumped up and ready to go. Speaking of Alabama, we got Alan Watson on the line. Alan, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm great. Good to talk to you guys. Y'all doing all right?
Oh, man, we're doing fantastic. Jeffrey's got his orange shirt on, so we're pumped up about it. But I know. Yeah, I know. It's rough. I mean, if you could imagine, I have to just kind of look to my right or look to my left, not straight ahead. So, Alan, obviously, Golf Plus is rolling. You guys are kicking in full gear. What is going on over at the shop right now?
Oh, man, just boxes galore. I mean, UPS, FedEx, the Postal Service, they've just been bringing us so much stuff. All of the products that I ordered at the PGA Show, all the products that were ordered last fall to get ready for the season have been rolling in. So new golf balls, new hats, new golf bags, new clubs. Just is so much stuff coming in. I was relieved to see the FedEx guy only had one box for us today, so that was great. But yesterday it was like probably close to 60 boxes between the two, shipping. So, yeah, lots of stuff coming in. We're just trying to get it all created, put in the computer, get it out on the floor so people can see it. And, just having a lot of fun, a lot of repairs, still doing a lot of fitting, of course, and meeting new people every day. It's crazy. I mean, we've been here 5.5 years. We're still meeting new people all the time, but still taking care of all of our regulars as well. So just having a lot of fun.
So a lot of the customers, when you say the boxes, they may not know what you're talking about because obviously you moved away from doing the retail as much. So tell us a little bit about what is coming from the boxes, bags.
Yeah, I mean, we still have... Yeah, we still have plenty of retail product. We're just moving away from, like, clothing and shoes as much just because, like, with a golf shop, there's only so much room on the floor, and you kind of have to look at what's really good and what's not really good. Like a couple of years ago, for instance, a few years ago, I'd say probably 3-4 years ago, Dick's Sporting Goods throughout the country cut the golf department by almost half in every single one of their stores. And so they were looking at it and saying, what do we sell great? What do we not sell great? And so if you go into one of their stores now, whatever they have on the floor, and I'm not tooting the horn of my competitor, I'm just saying whatever they have now is what they think they can sell. And before they had, a lot more square footage, and it was like, this isn't working. Well, I had to do kind of the same thing. I had to look at it and say, I only have so much square footage, so let's really bulk up on the stuff that matters most to our customers and it's the things that I want to be dealing with, and then let's just not, we're just not going to worry about the things we can't worry about and let somebody else kind of have that sale. So the boxes that we've been getting in lately, like I said, have primarily been hats, head covers, golf bags, And then, of course, a ton of new drivers, fairway woods, irons, wedges, that sort of stuff. There's just so many drops this time of year, new drops. We'll have new Scotty Cameron putters soon. We'll have new Bob Vokey wedges from Titleist very soon. So I can just go on and on with all the new stuff. TaylorMade completely revamped their TP ball line. So we have new TP balls from them, new Callaway premium balls, new Titleist premium balls. I mean, it almost looks like a different store than if you came in a few months ago in terms of what the visual of all these new products is now.
Let me ask you this, for some of these people that are stepping, into golf and all of that. So, like, with the bags, just give us, like, a rundown, like, how much are the bags? Could they, give us kind of like the bottom end and then tell us how important it is to have a good bag, maybe is it, for longevity, or how many bags in a golf career could you buy if you buy this one, or if you buy one that's a little more pricey, it might last longer. I don't really know all that.
Sure.
But,
no, that's cool.
But I think that'd be a good one to tell some of the people that maybe, stepping their foot into the profession of playing golf.
Sure. So our golf bags start at $135 and go up to probably $500 or $600 at the high end. But I would say on average, most of them are in the $250 to $350 range, and that may or may not sound like a lot of money, but a good golf bag is going to last you several years, several seasons, and could last you even longer than that. It just depends on how much you play, how much time you spend out in the sun with it, how good you take care of it, whether you leave it bouncing around the back of your truck or if you keep it somewhere, temperature controlled, et cetera. But the good news about a golf bag is that nowadays the materials that they're made out of are so much better, so much more high-end than they used to be. So, yes, you're paying more, but you're also getting a bag that lasts a lot longer. It's not going to rip. It's not going to tear. It's not going to fade and all that like the bags were, several years ago. But, yeah, we do have bags in what I would call a budget range of around $135 and then kind of moving on up from there. Some people like to buy a golf bag that represents a brand that they play a lot of those clubs. Other people like to buy like a collegiate bag and get something that, represents their favorite team. And then other people are just more utilitarian. Just give me a bag that carries my stuff, has enough room for whatever little accessories I want to carry, and then, they're good to go. So it's a little bit of all that. Some people buy more for fashion. We have some brands that are very fashion kind of conscious, but we've got some very premium stuff too, and premium just costs. So yeah, it is what it is.
You don't have any ugly orange like Tennessee bags, do you?
They're out sitting by the dumpster, and we're waiting for the trash man to come get them. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. No, we have carried, believe it or not, we have had a Tennessee bag in from time to time because we do get quite a few Tennessee folks down here at the beach. So we do try to cater to that every now and then. But honestly, what's really interesting is this Christmas was the first Christmas that I can remember in my 30 years in the golf business that we did not sell a single collegiate licensed golf bag at Christmas. That's usually a big deal, but because of NIL and because the schools are now trying to raise more money, they've raised all of the licensing costs. And so now the bags, the hats, everything that has a license on it is more expensive than ever. And sometimes it can kind of almost seem like they're more expensive than they need to be, if that makes any sense. Yeah. So I think people are looking at like, hey, I would have paid X dollars, but I'm not going to pay X plus Y because it's just too much. And I blame it on NIL. So anyway, whatever.
Yeah, no, that's true.
I handle golf bags all day long because I'm on the private aviation part of the airport, and people travel with golf bags all day long. But what I always love is the tripod, the fact that they have the two, little kickstands that'll flip out, and you can stand them up. And then also I love where you have a handle where you can just place it in somebody's car rather easily. Of course, you need the kind of backpack, little straps that you got.
Can we fire some golf balls down the tarmac, Jeff, down the right way?
That is not only if you're shooting them at the crows.
Yeah. When
that sounds like fun.
When I'm hitting them, you don't know where you're shooting them. So there you go. Well, let me ask you this. The big news of the week for golf, as far as what I saw, is that Charlie Woods has committed to the University or Florida State.
Florida State University, yeah.
Did you hear?
That's pretty awesome. Yeah, Florida State, Charlie Woods, yeah. 2027 would be his first year there because he's a junior in high school now. And, obviously if that holds, we know that commitments don't always hold, but if that one holds, then that would be really good for the state of Florida, really good for Florida State University, and just exciting in general to have Tiger and his son hopefully in the Tallahassee area, more often. That'd be pretty cool.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Are you surprised by that pick?
Well, not really. I mean, he grew up in Florida, so, and I don't think that, and Tiger played at Stanford, which is all the way in California, and so I don't think most of Charlie's golf as a junior has been played in the South because of growing up in Florida. So all the junior tours that he's played and all that, of course, he's played some national events, but a lot of what he's played has been in Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, South Carolina, like that. So I think he's just comfortable here. He's comfortable with the temperatures, and the grasses that you find in the South are different than what you find other places. So he may not want to have to go learn how to chip again if he goes to California or wherever. So I'm not super surprised, and I don't know much about his academia in terms of how good of a student he is or all that. So, I don't know that Ivy League type school was in the running anyway, and I think he just wants to play somewhere. Everybody knows the SEC is the ACC is pretty competitive in golf, and you get to play a lot of the SEC teams as well. So, I could have seen him going somewhere like Auburn. They have a really rich kind of golf history.
Yeah.
Maybe Vanderbilt if he was a really good student, but again, I don't know much about his grades. So, yeah, I think that's a good choice for him.
Yeah, he looked at Alabama and Auburn. And when he went in to go sit down with Auburn, they said, well, we wish we had a better football team. And you know what Tiger Woods' reaction was? He says, I'm not here to talk about football. I'm here to talk about Charlie and golf. It was not a good start. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think, and I don't know how much Tiger, played into the decision. Who knows? I know when John Daly's son went to college, he went to Arkansas just like his dad did. But, again, like I said, with Tiger having been a California guy and Charlie being a Florida guy, I couldn't see him going all the way across the country. It's just so different. Like I said, if you play golf a lot, you know how different grasses are. You know how different the temperate zones are and everything. And once you're used to something with that type of sport, you just don't want to have to that's why they always said it was so easy in the old days in football for these guys down here to recruit the kids from, New York and Michigan and places like that, was because who wouldn't want to come to the South to play football? Why you want to stay up there with the snow? But in golf, it's the complete opposite. You absolutely don't want to go up north. You want to stay down south. So I think, it'll be interesting to see. I hope it works out. I really hope he comes to Tallahassee.
So if I heard you correctly, they got a different set of grass over in California.
Well, it's different. It's different there's different kinds of grass, obviously, as I'm sure you know. But over there, like in California, they have this thing called kikuyu, which is awful. It's not everywhere, but it's in a lot of places. It's really hard to chip, and we're used to Bermuda around here. We're used to other types of grasses around here. And if you grow up on it, these guys that grew up in the South, if you look at like a Stuart Sink or a Kevin Kisner, some of these guys who played on tour who grew up in the South, I bet you if you look at their career, you're going to see they played better at Hilton Head, played better at Augusta, played better on the Florida swing. I bet you when they went out to Arizona and California, they didn't play as well. And so it has a lot to do with grass. And, if there's one thing you can control, well, you can't control the golf courses, but you can kind of control, like I said, sort of the area, the zone you want to be in. So I don't think people are like rushing to go play golf in Seattle or go play golf in, Idaho or somewhere like that. I think most people would rather stay in Texas or Florida, Alabama, somewhere like that.
Yeah, and you know what else that probably has something to do with it over in California is the NIL money. Because you're going to be taxed out your brain on NIL money over there now. So, if you look at what happened with Sam Darnold, he won money due to incentives into his contract, but because of the taxes in the state of California, because that's where they were playing the Super Bowl, he lost money due to winning the Super Bowl.
Oh. Wow. I wasn't aware of that. But, yeah, if there's tax implications, now these college students do have to think about that as long as they're taking in NIL money, which I'm sure they all will. So, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. I didn't even think about that. But, Charlie's had a kind of a up and down junior career, as most juniors do. I mean, he's not the most highly rated kid out there, but obviously he has a pedigree, and people are going to want to come see him play. So I think that I'm sure that there were some. I have no idea what his deal will look like, but that's something that you have to consider. Is if you're going to pay me and I got to pay taxes, then where do I want to be? And Florida with no state income tax certainly looks better. It looks better for me, I know that.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Let me ask you this. How does that normally work for golf as far as with college like that? We only have a couple minutes left, but it made me a little inquisitive about that because I don't really know. Do they usually, can they stay longer than 1 or 2 years, or do they normally, they kind of get their feet wet with the college game and then boom, they're gone, ready to go pro?
Most of them don't jump to pro until they graduate. Most of them go ahead and stay. But I'm commenting on all the years prior to NIL. But here's the thing. Yeah. They can make a little bit of money in college, whereas they couldn't before. And if they're not mature, physically ready, or mentally tough enough for the tour yet, obviously you're going to make more money staying at home with a free ride in college and somebody giving you some money than going out on the tour. The tour is very expensive. So if you're not 100% ready, like Rory went straight from high school to pro, but he was in Europe, of course. And then they had this kid just recently that came out that's been playing really good on the tour. And then he went straight from high school, no college. But it is extremely rare. Most golfers are going to play all 4 years in college, or at least 3 years before they move on. So it's a maturation thing, but it's also golfers are also in a different mindset a lot of times because a lot of them didn't come from a lower socioeconomic position. So a lot of them, they're thinking about the future if golf doesn't work out, not looking for that quick paycheck, not knocking anybody. But, sometimes some of these other athletes are like, hey, if they're going to offer me money, I got to go take it. And they're not necessarily thinking about, a banking career afterwards or whatever. So,
right.
I mean, it's a slightly different thing. No knock on anybody.
Yeah, no. Well, we appreciate your time. Give us the hours and the location and even maybe Facebook or a phone number.
Yeah, absolutely. Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are all Golf Plus PCB. You got to spell out the plus. The phone number is 850-249-2726. We're at the shops at Edgewater next to Firefly Restaurant on Panama City Beach on the east end. We're open 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, 10 to 4 on Saturday. If you're looking for a fitting appointment, please call ahead or go on our website, golfplusdothan.com, and book because we don't do a ton of walk-in when it comes to fitting, although we do a lot of walk-ins for repairs. Mm-hmm. So whatever we can do, we want to help you.
And I'm sure you got some kind of Valentine's special going on Saturday.
I don't, but I'll find something.
There you go. Exactly. Well, we appreciate you, Alan. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you as always.
Yes, sir. We are pumped up, and when we come back, we are going to get Steve Barnes on the line, find out all the things that happened today in the Trinidad Chambliss court proceedings. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Red 70s studio line is now open. 850-215-6290. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your spot for college basketball.
And it goes in at the buzzer. Got it.
Listen to select games from the LSU Tigers, Florida Gators, the Auburn Tigers, and the biggest games around the country play here.
Three-pointer, punch it in. Oh, you saw that coming, Rap.
The most live college basketball in the Panhandle.
Game is over.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida and the ESPN Northwest Florida app.
Are you ready for another historic season at the bank? It's time to lock in your seats for 2026 by placing your deposit now. Next season will be played at Everbank Stadium, but seating capacity is limited due to in-bowl renovations, and spots are going fast. Don't miss out on your chance to see the season's biggest matchups and highlight real moments by placing your deposit at Jaguars.com/tickets or by calling 904-633-2000. Go Jags!
Experience a higher level of service. David Adamson Designer Jewelry has been providing you the very best of fine jewelry and repair in Lynn Haven for over 32 years. David has added Amber Anderson and Russ Klinger, names you've known and trusted in PCB for years with your fine jewelry and watch needs. Find that one-of-a-kind engagement ring, that special anniversary gift, or something colorful just for you. Amber and Russ will find it or build it for you, serving Bay County and beyond in Lynn Haven at the corner of Ohio Avenue and 9th. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
Now back to the Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida, your place for college basketball. Don't forget Florida versus Kentucky, 2 o'clock, and then Auburn and at Arkansas, 7 o'clock on Saturday, Valentine's Day. No better way to watch it, listen to it, check it out on the ESPN app as well. We are live here in local. If you want to be a part of the show, you got about 15 minutes, 850-215-6290, the Red 7T's phone line. We're pumped up about it because we've got Steve Barnes on the line from the rebelwalk.com. We had to end the call earlier, but Steve, thank you so much for taking out time of your day to come on and be a part of the show. How you doing, my friend?
Time of my day? I've been watching court all day. I have no time in my day.
Well, I want you to tell us what's going on with it for the listeners that didn't hear earlier. But just go ahead and give us the what all happened today and what's going on with the Trinidad Chambliss case.
Well, he's going to be the quarterback at Ole Miss, but my favorite thing is the judge, who is still talking, by the way.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. He's still talking. He concluded at 5:24, 5:29, and 5:32 that Chambliss won. But he keeps talking.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I think the longest novel I ever read was the Mayor of Casterbridge in high school by Thomas Hardy.
I had never heard that.
I think I got done with that before this guy's done with this.
Wow. So
it
basically
makes no sense.
Yeah. So basically, everything that was, I watched some of the court proceeding from some of the video that was given, and a lot of things were talked about. A lot of the coaches were there. A lot of the coaches were interviewed. I think one of the biggest things that everybody is wanting to know, give us the what they were asking for and why. Because some people are like, oh, he shouldn't be able to play. He's 23 years old. He's already played, blah, blah, blah. But give us the why and why they were fighting this.
Well, first, I have to give a shout-out to my boss, Ole Miss EV, because 0 on 3, and I think the Jackson TV station lost their feed and took Ole Miss EVs.
Wow.
Good luck. Yeah, that's kind of cool. So, what was happening was it wasn't that he was, going to be 35 years old and playing, college football. He was saying, I only played 3 years of college football. I need one more. I should get 4.
Mm-hmm.
And that held up. Because I think the NCAA messed up 3 times today. And Chambliss's argument was, look, I redshirted my first year, which pretty much a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
The second year, he had tonsillitis and all this stuff that caused breathing problems and heart problems. And so Ferris said, we're not letting you on the field. That should be a medical redshirt.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, what people were saying is like, no, they never filed for it. Well, they didn't think he was going to ever be at Ole Miss. They thought by now he'd be like an insurance salesman in Grand Rapids. So what happened was the NCAA basically lied. They said, well, we never got the doctor's orders. And turned out today in court, they did.
Oh, wow. So they got the doctor's orders, and so they knew all along?
They said, They said, hey, you can't do it. The kid can't play. And Ferris State never did this, and I'm not sure why, but Ferris State should have gone to court and said, look, he had, breathing problems and a high heart rate. I can't put him on the football field because if he dies, how many lawsuits am I looking for? So he missed the 22 season because of that. But then the bad part is once he got better, he took him to a national championship. And everybody wants him. And he asked, actually his mother, who was a witness today, the defense had, I'm not sure the defense, but it was a doctor, Joe Judge, the quarterback coach at Ole Miss, who the NCAA tried to say was not a football expert. Yeah. He was only the quarterback coach for the New England Patriots and the head coach for the New York Giants. Yeah. He's not an expert. No, you can't trust him. But then it was it was Trinidad and his mother. And the one thing I think the NCAA did today that was good, they didn't go after his mother on the stand. They didn't ask her any questions because you don't want to go after that. You don't want to do Mama Chambliss. You just don't want to do that. Yeah. The second thing was the NCAA left after closing arguments. They didn't want to stay.
Oh, wow.
But before they did that, their argument wasn't closing arguments. It's about the law, not fairness. I believe it's in the bylaws of the NCAA. This is about fairness in college athletics. You just want to get yourself. And the other thing that I just loved was, and Jeff, I'm sorry about this, dude. Mama said they were told when they left Ferris State by Tony Anesi, the coach, you got 2 years left. And then they went to Ole Miss, and the GM said, hey, you got 2 years left. That guy was Billy Glasscock. He's now the LSU GM. So, wow. Dude, that kind of hurts.
Yeah, let me ask you this. When you look at it now, is that going to be the precedent? Do you think the NCAA is going to do anything differently, or do you think they're just going to chalk it up as a loss and they're going to continue to do the things that they've done?
I think they're going after Joey Aguilar tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'm not sure how they're going to do it because I think he's got the Diego Pavio rule.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not sure they're going to beat him, but I think what it's doing is they're going to have so many losses that they can go to Congress and say, look, we can't control this anymore. You have to help us. And that scares me because, let's look at Congress.
Yeah. Well, it'd be considerate to see. They've got to do something because we can't just keep doing this. We're now into February, and now we're finding out this today that he's eligible, and then tomorrow we're going to find out if Joey Aguilar is going to be eligible. And we've already had the portal open and closed. We've already had signing day and all of those things. So it's just bad timing. It's a bad look, as well as all the other stuff that's going on with the NCAA. You would hope that somebody with the cooler heads would be able to step in and be able to know what we're doing, because we can't just keep doing this.
Who would that be?
I don't know. Saban. I don't know.
No.
I think Congress has to do something. They got to get their arms around it somehow, some way, or at least get some kind of committee or something, because going to each individual state is not going to be the answer, because they're going to be just like what Jeff has said all along is about partiality and will there be bias behind the gavel.
I don't think it's going to be Congress that does it. I think it's going to be probably the conference commissioners who finally say, hey, look, we have to regulate ourselves or we're going to kill each other. Kind of like, I mean, I hate to say it about the SEC, but when we went to two divisions, they said, okay, we're going to kill you, but not us.
Yeah.
And they tried to do it. And I think it'd be the same thing. So I think what's going to happen is you're going to have to find an independent person, and I'm not sure who it's going to be. I wish it was Dave Baker, but I don't see anybody to do it for at least the next 10, 20 years.
Let me ask you this. Whenever they announced that he's going to be eligible, were there any kind of response in the crowd, in the gallery today?
There was really nobody there. I mean, the media was put in the jury box. And, I mean, that's where Miss Evie had our camera, and we had a better shot than pretty much anybody else, and we could hear people because the audio was kind of weird. But in the back, it was, I mean, Pittsboro, Mississippi? Are you going to drive all the way there to sit in the gallery? Think about it. They have one restaurant there.
Probably really good, too.
Oh, it's a Mexican restaurant.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. It's called Mihai, I believe.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, just down the road in Bruce, which is like 5 minutes down the road, they've got like a Subway and stuff like that. And I'm not kidding about this. When the judge said, okay, I think we need a lunch recess, the first thing I thought of, where are you going to go?
Gas station time.
Yeah.
That's Bone Crusher
Can I have
place.
gas station chicken? Come on, man. I've been through Bruce.
Oh, Pontotoc, man. Yeah.
There you go. But, all right.
It's funny that you mentioned the Magna Carta earlier because I was thinking about that, and I was like, nobody's above the law, right? It's a king's order thing. And then due process is one of the parts of it. And where are we at? We're in the court.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're getting out of it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, Steve, we are bumped up against the break. We appreciate you coming on and giving us the information, and we'll talk with you next week, my friend. Have a good weekend, and hopefully you have a great Valentine's Day.
Well, I think I'm going to, rest a little bit after this long day of never hoping I see Matlock or Law and Order again.
That's right. All right. Well, we appreciate you, Steve. Have a good week, my friend.
All right. Love you all, guys. Like fried chicken.
Thank you, buddy. That's just a part of it. Now we at least got some closure. I'm sure there's going to be two sides of the story. I'm sure they're going to try to save face. And I know that a lot of the Ole Miss fans are very happy about it.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I know who's not happy about it. Deuce Knight, who transferred there from Auburn to be the starting quarterback, thinking Trinidad was gone.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's going to be sitting behind him. Now, it could be the same thing. If Trinidad gets hurt or something like that, don't want to wish that on anybody. But still, Deuce Knight from now is going to be a definite backup. So either way.
Yeah.
But don't want to forget Recommended Collision Center. That place is the place to take your vehicle to if you've got anything going on with your cosmetic parts. If you need a bumper, a hood, if you need your windshield, maybe you hear a leak or you're getting some leakage inside the cab, go see those guys. They're on Jinx Avenue. Brandon and those guys will do a great job. Brandon's going to be in studio tomorrow with us, and he'll tell us a lot more about that. But we've had a great day.
Are you going to talk about Alabama basketball this week at all?
Well, they won last night. They beat Ole Miss.
But you're not tooting your horn or nothing like that. Y'all went to Auburn
I'm not
and won.
happy. I'm not happy with the Alabama program.
7-4 in conference.
Charles Bediaco is why I'm not happy with the Alabama Crimson Tide. Let me get over that, then we'll get into it. We still got all of February and March. But either way, we will be back tomorrow, pumped up and ready to go. You've been listening to the Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson right here, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, any place, anywhere.
The sports talk and live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The